I'm Travis.
And I'm Emma.
And this is Bestie Approved.
Yay. What's the last song you listened to?
Smooth featuring Rob Thomas by Santana.
Sure. Mine, you've never heard of, I can almost guarantee. It's The Words Best Friend Become Redefined by Chiodos.
Do you know what we should do? We should make an Apple Music playlist, like public, of all these songs.
We should, except they're going to judge me on some of them. I guess I was feeling
baby, if you think they're not going to judge the ever-loving fuck out of me.
Listen to this song. It is so emo. I was listening to it loud as hell in my car. Sometimes I just am angry.
And that's okay. That is okay. It's been a week, guys. It has been a week. Where do you want to start? Do you want to start with your pregnancy update?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I am 17 weeks today. We're recording on Wednesday this week. So my baby is the size of an onion. I can't stop eating sugar, which is like really, really bad. So I'm just like having internal battles about that constantly.
Like, is it bad for the baby, or is it just like a you thing that it's bad?
It's not necessarily bad for the baby, but there's this thing that you can have gestational diabetes, which is basically like while you're pregnant, you're diabetic. And I really don't want to have that. I honestly don't know what the treatment of that even entails. Mm-hmm. But I don't want it. So it's a battle every day. I have my one little sweet treat typically, and then I fight myself the rest of the day. But that's okay. Other than that, I'm fine. I'm still so tired, and they told me that I wasn't going to be tired in the second trimester, so...
Wait, I want to go back to the diabetes thing for a second. So, like, you just have diabetes while you're pregnant? Like, it's not...
Yeah.
Oh.
When I was pregnant with Jack, I had pregnancy-induced hypertension. So, like, my blood pressure was high only while I was pregnant. Now he does that.
Does it just go away, like...
Yeah.
When you have the baby?
Yeah.
Oh.
When I got... So, you go back to your OB, like, 6 weeks after you give birth to get cleared to, like, exercise and stuff. Uh-huh. And at that appointment, my blood pressure was back to completely normal.
Well?
Yeah. It's weird. Yeah, I mean, your body's going through tons of changes. You're trying to take care of a baby. It's all weird, you know?
It is weird. I'm never going to have a baby.
Yeah.
Ever.
You could adopt.
I mean, I'm not going to have it, though.
Right. You're not going to be pregnant.
I'm never going to know what's the size of an onion inside of me.
Right. No. But yeah, it's crazy. Can you believe it's only 40 weeks and I'm 17 weeks in?
I cannot believe we're almost halfway through because it feels like literally 2 weeks ago you told me. Like, that is wild to me.
Right? I feel like I'm going to have a baby tomorrow. I'm so unprepared. Also, they say this week he, like, starts hearing. He's developing...
What?
Oh, babies can hear you while they're in the belly.
Oh.
And that's why you'll see, like, people talking to their babies.
Do you want to know what's insane? Huh? Like, the preview of this app literally says Emma this week.
Ah! Also, he can, like...
Wait, so go back to it can hear. The baby can hear? Mm-hmm. How?
Starting like this week-ish. So it starts off, they can only hear like my voice, basically. But when they are like bigger, like when it's closer to time, you're supposed to have the dad or whoever's going to be around the baby also talk to the baby. So it's like a comfortable voice when the baby's born. Isn't that crazy?
That is... I don't know if it makes me uncomfortable or if it's like a marvel of like the human
evolution.
Body, which is really cool.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, it freaks me out, but I'm like, I don't know.
We're going to figure it out.
Jack, when he was in my belly, liked certain music. Like, I could tell. He would, like, start kicking and moving around a lot.
What did he like? Like, what was his favorite
song? Frank Ocean. He loved Frank Ocean.
Of course he did.
Yeah.
What do you think this baby's going to like? Because if it's not Kesha, I'm going to be really upset.
I think he'll love Kesha.
I would hope so. Do you think he's going to know the sound of my voice?
Probably.
Aw. Perfect.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's all crazy. I think a lot of pregnancy stuff is guesswork too, because like, how can you actually know what's going on in a baby's brain while they're in their mom? You know what I mean? I don't know.
In my mind, I was like, oh, they're just guessing on most of it. I don't know.
That's what I thought, but then it's like very hyper specific stuff too. Like this week, he also is like starting to form fat in his body. It's like, how do you know that? Like, how did we figure that out?
I mean, that probably comes from the ultrasound. Like, I'm more interested in like how it, like the cognitive functions, like how they know that, because that. Well, I bet I don't know. I'm not a scientist.
I'm sure
I have no
there's
idea.
some type of scan or something they can do to see. Another one is, I think it was last week, he can swallow. Isn't that crazy? They practice for a long time, like in the belly, the act of like sucking like they would on a bottle.
Oh, is that where the instinct comes from?
Mm-hmm.
That's so
they,
interesting.
Like, practice it this early on in pregnancy.
A little onion.
That's me.
I love that. Our little onion August. Yeah. We're sharing the name. Are we telling the people the name? Do we need to cut that?
Fine.
Okay.
I'm not weird about the name. I know some people like to wait until it's like the baby's here to tell anyone the name. I'm not like that. I'm so bad at keeping secrets like that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm really good at keeping secrets that are like bad stuff or hard stuff, but I'm horrible at keeping secrets that are exciting things.
I've never wanted to keep a secret from you, but like the way that like my granny has called me and told me information and said, do not tell anyone about this, and you are the first person that I pick up the phone and call. I
do that too. If there's a really juicy secret, I'll just tell someone who's not involved, like instantaneously.
Oh yeah.
Because I can't keep it to myself. I really can't.
How can you be expected to, honestly?
I've been this way my whole life. I remember as a kid, like, no one would tell me what anyone got anyone for Christmas because I would tell. I would get so excited for them, and I'd want to be like, you know what you got?
You had tea to spill.
Which is honestly probably kind of selfish of me because, like, I wanted to see their reaction. Like,
you wanted to spread joy. That's, like, we need to reframe that a little bit because you wanted to spread joy. Oh, Lord. Okay, we've got some stuff this week. Where do you want to start?
I guess Diddy.
So, on my way to Emma's house, I got a notification from Apple News that Diddy was only found guilty on the 2 lesser charges of that he was on trial for. So there were 5 charges: 1 count of racketeering conspiracy, 2 counts of sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. The 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution are the ones he was found guilty of. I just have to be really honest. I'm not thrilled with the justice system right now, given everything that we have learned from the trial and from the last 7 weeks. I
just feel like those were the easiest charges to prove.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Because there are records of flights and, you know, license plates that are on camera and things like that. I knew this was going to happen. I knew this was going to happen because there's no evidence. You would have to get everyone to testify against him, and everyone's so scared of him.
Right.
I will say, if he's in prison for 20 years, when he gets out, he's going to be 75. He can't survive a freak off. Good. You know what I mean? So I think it's over for all of the victims and people involved. Thank God.
But I don't, like, do you feel like they're getting justice, like the victims?
No, but I don't know that they ever could have.
You're right, because there's so much trauma there. Like, how do you unpack that? And, like, how do you heal from that? But, like...
Unless they took him to civil court for pain and suffering, like, they were never going to get a settlement or anything. I don't know.
Yeah. It just sucks. Like, I'm just mad about it. And, like, I was talking to my dad about this. Where, like, how would you feel if either A, it was me or Zachary that you had to, like, go into that courtroom and, like, and be on our side and try and defend us, like if we had done allegedly such horrific acts? Or B, how would you feel if we were the victims and like there was nothing you could do? And I'm going to be really honest, I don't care about the racketeering charges. I don't care at all about that.
Yeah.
Like I care about like what you did to people allegedly.
Yeah.
I'm just ugh.
It's a power dynamic thing, obviously, and all I can think about is Cassie, the poor girl. Like,
Oh my God, I know.
thank God for her new husband, who's an absolute angel from God. You know, he ran like a full marathon or a 5K or something to support victims of sexual abuse, and like stopped to give Cassie a hug on his run.
Bless his heart.
He is a little angel, and he is so sweet. He's like done nothing but support her. He's never done anything to act like insecure about it or like he doesn't want to talk about it. He's like always just shown up in support of her, and I think that's so hot.
And I'm happy that she's got someone who she can be more comfortable with. And that's all I'll say about Diddy. Diddy does not deserve any more of our time.
100%.
Anna Wintour is
Yeah.
stepping down as the editor-in-chief of Vogue.
She had to. I'm going to
Yeah.
be so honest. She's fallen off so hard in the last few years. The last Met Gala she went to, she had a stain on her dress. She's just started like a fall from grace, and I'm glad that she was at least aware enough to know that it was her time.
Well, that and like, I think the entire print media industry is having a fall from grace too. I mean, like you took over Vogue in what, 1988. So she's been around for 36 years, and like your entire year was planned around basically the September issue. And it's like that print media, that fanfare for that one time of year doesn't really exist anymore in like this world of fast fashion. And it's part of it's kind of sad because it's like you're seeing an entire industry that's worth like $3.6 trillion die.
Yeah.
And she was kind of the face of that because I mean she called the shots and she decided like what fashion was, and like I mean I know there was like a team, but like that was like her thing, and it's like what does she do now, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully just retire. Vogue's been paying her well for 36 years. I think she'll probably retire. I will say, with the fall of print media, I do respect Vogue for trying to enter the space of fashion via social media. They've gotten the girls to do their, like, getting ready videos and the, whatever, and all of those. And I think that's cute. I like the, what is it, like 90 questions
Oh,
with
yeah, the thing where they
Vogue.
like follow you around the house.
Yeah.
That is Vogue. Yeah.
I think those are cute. I do like that they've tried to like enter a space where it's more accessible to the age that it's supposed to be accessible to, I started reading Vogue when I was like 13.
Do you think that when they presented that idea to Anna Wintour, it was just like a knockdown, drag out fight saying, I'm not doing this like TikTok trash, and like, look what it's turned into?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it took some convincing. I think that's part of like why she had to go, is because she's so old fashioned and so used to the old way of doing things that it would be really hard, I think, for anyone to adjust to this sort of, hate me for saying it, but cheaper version of things where it's like you're trying to appeal to the masses by saying you're just like them instead of trying to appeal to the masses by being as fabulous as possible.
Right.
Like, it's a very different mindset.
No, for sure. It's like, that's the thing is like, I think back to like, like what the 80s, the 90s represented, and even like the mid 2000s where like fashion was aspirational and it was like Vogue and Harper's Bazaar and it was like the models and like the whole thing. And like right now I couldn't name a model besides Naomi Campbell, like, and I don't think of her as like a model right now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, my mind automatically goes Bella Hadid, Alex Consani, all of those, that group. But
okay, that's fair.
But even with them, social media has gotten us to a point of believing that everything is attainable for ourselves. Like, people
Okay.
really aren't interested in anything that they can't or their daddy can't buy for them, you know? Like, Bella Hadid is, like, one of the most famous models in the world, and she's, like, tagging where she gets her outfits from and stuff like that, because that's what people want. People want to see someone, and it's always been, you see someone and I want to be just like her, but we've lost the formula of, like, trying to figure that out on your own, and now are like, well, she got that from here and I can get it from here, and she got that bag from here and I can find that bag and I can do
it's just an influencer's world. Yeah.
Okay. And everyone wants to be an influencer. And, like, I get it. I've thought about,
we're trying to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Like, I'm not judging anyone. I'm just saying, like, the mindset has completely shifted. There's, like, little to no individuality now outside of, like, who do you idolize?
I don't know. I think it's funny, like, when you say who do you idolize? And, like, I feel like I'm not, like, a normal person when it comes to this, because, like, you say who do you idolize, and I'm like, Bethany Frankel. Like,
no,
like, she's my hero. But
no,
I hear what you're saying.
I'm mostly talking about, like 15 to 22-year-olds.
Sure.
Like, the impressionable crowd who's, like, still trying to figure themselves out. I think that's who, like, they're like, I like Bella Hadid, and I like whatever big influencers. I like Alex Earl, and I like whoever else, and I'm gonna dress exactly like them, to the point where I'm going to buy my outfits from the same stores where they bought theirs. It's like much more copy and paste than it used to be, at least in my opinion.
No, that's fair. It's funny that you brought up Bella Hadid and her sister Gigi, because, like, I literally only know them from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills because of Yolanda Foster. Like,
yeah, I didn't even, like, clock them being in Real Housewives until recently. I don't know, like, Bella Hadid specifically, she's, like, so cool, girl. She's like,
very cool.
Riding her horses and smoking a cigarette with a glass of red wine. Like, she's so hot.
She is.
I think everyone wants to be like her, and it's like, why wouldn't you? She's, like, the coolest bitch in the world.
No, totally. It's so funny, though. I remember walking by the Burberry store when there was still one in Indy, and I walked by it, and I was like, oh, my God, that's Yolanda Foster's daughter. And the person that was with me was like, are you being fucking serious right now? It's Bella Hadid.
She's very much her own girl now, but that is funny because it all comes from Yolanda.
It does.
I mean, Bella Hadid started getting work done when she was very young.
Well, if you look a little bit under the surface there, it is not ideal.
Oh.
Go ahead.
You know about the almond mom thing?
If you're about to say what I think, because I was literally about to say exactly what you think, or I think you're going to say, but go ahead.
So, like, Yolanda Hadid is the OG almond mom. Almond moms are the ones who are like, wait till you're hungry and then eat one almond.
Oh, I've got one better for you. It was Bella or Gigi's birthday. I think it was Gigi's birthday. And they were showing her party on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. She said, oh, I'm going to have a piece of cake for my birthday. And the way that I watched Yolanda Foster's, or what appeared to be an eating disorder, live on television, and I have never been so triggered in my entire life, because she let her daughter take one bite of it and said, that's it, that's enough.
Yeah. I mean,
that was
hard.
And
that's really sad, because it is obvious that she kind of put it on her daughters that they need to be model sized and they need to do this and they need to do that to be skinny, like, for no other goal, not health, not wealth, to be skinny, period.
Because that's your paycheck.
Yeah. It's sad. It's sad. And it is kind of sad to see, like, how well it worked.
But to be fair,
because now they're both by themselves very successful.
Oh, absolutely. But to be fair to Yolanda, that was the world she grew up in. Like, she was a model in the late 80s, early 90s. Like, and that was, like, I mean, you had the model houses where, like, they had a cigarette and, like, a grape, and that was their meal.
Yeah, 100%. And it's hard to judge that group of women. I mean, we're talking about Naomi Campbell in the 90s. We're talking about all of them who had all of these very unhealthy habits. They were getting drunk via their buttholes and stuff like that.
What?
Like, oh yeah. Models are where butt chugging came from. They put it up their butt.
That's a real thing.
Uh-huh.
Oh my Christ. I always thought that was just a joke.
No, when I read about models eating cotton balls because like you can't really digest it, but it'll fill you up. Like really
Jesus
bad for your
Christ.
stuff. Let me just put this disclaimer out there for anyone listening to this.
Please
do not
don't do that.
any of that. It is so harmful to your health and it's not worth it to be skinny. But yeah.
Or just be comfortable in your body and you're okay. You are perfect
Everyone
just
is
the way you
perfect.
are.
Yeah, you
Like,
are perfect the way you are. There's no reason to want to change yourself, especially to the point of harming yourself. That's so counterintuitive. But the point I'm trying to make is that when you grow up around that and you want to be in that industry, it's hard to judge because it's
totally.
like that was so normalized 20 years ago.
Oh, 100%.
And I think that ended with the whole like heroin chic going out of style. I think that's when that lifestyle also went out of style.
I'm thrilled about that because I didn't believe that was, I had no idea that was a thing. Like, so that's terrifying. One day we need to get into my granny and Sue and like the relationship with food there because
we should have a relationship with food segment in an episode.
Oh yeah,
I feel
that
like
might be a whole episode one day actually.
There's a lot to unpack. I mean, because even parents who think they're doing the right thing can give you a bad relationship with food.
Oh yeah.
And it's hard. That's a hard thing to navigate, even as an adult, your relationship with food for a lot of people. Yeah, I don't know. I'm very happy for Bella and Gigi, and I'm glad it worked out for them, but it is hard to see a mom act like that.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to be mad, or do you want to laugh at the universe conspiring against me?
Either one.
Let's start with the fun one first, and then we'll roll into the disaster. So I wholeheartely believe that the universe is conspiring against me to aggravate the living fuck out of me. So, I'm trying to teach myself how to swim. Right? I was at Lifetime 2 days ago at this point, and the lap pool at Lifetime was closed, I guess, for like maintenance or I don't know. I don't care why it was closed. Right. And there was a class going on in the other pool where I had the option to swim. So I said, I'm just going to hang out here. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to disassociate on TikTok until this little class is over. And then I'm going to hop right in that pool. Mm-hmm. This man comes out of the locker rooms that like lead directly into the lap pool. And he looks at the sign that says lap pool closed. Mm-hmm. And I'm sitting facing the lap pool, like on the bench thing. And this man turns around and he looks at me and he goes, "Is the pool closed?" I said, yeah, it looks like it. And
Obviously.
Then I went right back to my phone. I had my beats in. I was not giving the signal that I was in the mood to have a conversation. So then he goes, "Well, is it going to be closed all day?" And I said, "I don't know. I'm not sure, sir." And then I looked back at my phone and he goes, "Well, what are people doing if they want to swim?" And I was like, "Well, I'm waiting for this class to be over and then I'm going to hop in that pool." And he goes, "Well, is it going to be closed all day?" And he just kept saying, "Is it going to be closed all day?"
I do wonder if being seated by a pool while a class was going on, if you were giving lifeguard.
I was wearing chubby swim trunks with palm trees on them, and they were pink.
I don't know that a man would care.
Got it. Okay.
I don't know. But you're also on your phone, and that's not giving lifeguard. I don't know. But also imagine being so fit and hot that they assume you work there.
Love that for me. But he just kept saying, "Yeah. Is it going to be closed all day?" And I got to the point where I just stopped acknowledging him. Yeah. And then he looks me dead in the face and he goes, "I don't even know why I try anymore." And then he throws his hands up in the air and like storms off. And
I don't know why you try either, sir.
Right. And I was just like, and I never once considered that maybe he thought I worked there. So like, I will give you that. But the sense of entitlement to be like, I'm just going to keep asking a question that this guy has like already let me know that he does not know the answer to, and like I still am looking for an answer. Like, go talk to the front desk. Go, like, literally go anywhere else, but like stop bothering me. And like,
I don't understand people who act like that. Like, you think you're gonna magically get what you want the 65th time you complain?
And also, the pool says it's fucking closed on the sign. Like,
hello?
You're an unstoppable force meeting an immovable object. What do you want, sir?
What, like, I don't know what he wanted you to say. Because also, like, if you did work there, if he found someone who worked there and he asked them and the pool was going to be open 4 hours later, are you going to sit around and wait for 4 hours? Like, why do you want to know if it's going to be closed all day?
Right. Or conceptually, take the advice of the guy you've been harassing and wait the 4 minutes for that class to be over and just hop in the other pool. It's just not that deep.
Yeah, literally.
Well, it isn't. Actually, it's 4 feet versus 6 feet, but goddamn.
It's going to be okay. Yeah. You can still swim in it. Guess what, buddy?
Everything's going to be okay. Do you want to complain?
Yeah, I do want to complain.
I want you to go first.
Today I'm complaining about Love Island, which maybe could have saved itself for our Reality Roundup if I didn't just want to bitch about it. No one knows how to communicate with each other anymore. No one understands how to date or what they owe people. I'm so tired of the phrase, I don't owe anything to anybody. Yes, you do. You owe everyone you run into basic human decency.
Okay.
You owe everyone you run into grace and the same type of treatment you would like to enjoy from them. That is what you owe people. I also am so tired of this narrative of needing to be a girl's girl on Love Island. You're on Love Island. You guys are all dating the same guys. I understand that you should always want to stand up for your girls. Yes, I get it. I think it would be beautiful for you all to be friends, but it is so obvious that this season they're trying to rip off last season with this group that was Leah, Serena, and Janae. They were all three of those girls are massively famous now. And it is so very clear that 3 of the girls on this season are trying to become that. But they're bullies. They are bullying this girl. Okay. So, to summarize what happened. This girl, Huda, they're like split off at Casa Amor. I'm not even going to explain that all to you. But they're at Casa Amor. Shelly is connecting with this guy, but she knows deep down she likes the guy she has back at the main villa better. So then Huda confronts her as she should and says, hey, I'm interested in this guy that you're seeing, Chris. I want to bring him back to the villa. Huda tells Shelly to her face, I'm interested in the guy you're talking to. Shelly is like, okay, cool, because I'm more interested in the other guy back at the villa anyway. Bring him on home with you, girl. And everyone's very honest with each other, which I really respect. Chris is like, I'm going to pursue both of you. I want to get to know both of you. Whatever. And then he decides one day Shelly isn't reciprocating the energy that he's giving her, so he's going to stop trying to pursue her. He likes Huda. Huda likes him. They make out. Beautiful. Love that for them. Then we get to last night's episode, which is basically everyone wrote these postcards to other people in the villa to air shit out. And Shelly has the nerve to go up on a podium and say they had a conversation where Huda said she was just bringing Chris back for her, for Shelly. Like, she was only bringing this man back so that Shelly could could pursue him still.
Baby, it's Love Fucking Island.
I know, that's not even how the conversation went, first of all. That's not how it went. And I don't know, there's been other drama to kind of add color to this, but it's like, I just feel like there are some girls on Love Island right now who are not used to being jealous, and they don't know how to handle that emotion. Like, Shelly is so beautiful in real life that it seems to me... Let me show you a picture of her. But it seems to me...
Shelly, you said?
Mm-hmm. Chelley.
Oh my God, she is so beautiful.
She's stunning. Like, absolutely drop-dead gorgeous.
Wait, and she's the girl that...
She's the girl who's like, you told me you were going to bring Chris back just so I could still talk to him.
Oh, she's never been insecure a day in her life.
That's what I'm saying.
And
she's never been jealous before.
Okay.
And she doesn't know how to, like, confront those emotions.
Yes.
And it's become very obvious on this season. And it's making me sad. You are not there for every girl to kiss your feet and every man to kiss your ass.
No.
Like, that's not how it works. You're on Love Island. Everyone is dating everyone.
She's simply not familiar, though.
I just can't. And I can't believe I'm defending Huda because she's the one who's a mom and was crashing out and all of this.
Oh, okay. See...
But she has owned up to that. She's been like, I've made mistakes. I'm sorry for acting like that. I'm trying to grow and improve myself. Okay.
On Love Island.
Yes.
So
it's all kind of silly because it's on Love Island at all. But I'm like, how are you not understanding that you are bullying this girl? Because they were coming at her talking about they're not giving her this, she's not giving them the same treatment she expects from them, and blah, 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 blah.
I don't know what anyone expects going on to Love Island. I think that's a big conversation we need to have is we need to align our expectations with reality.
100%. And I think it would be beautiful if you all could be friends and get along. I think it would even make the whole thing better for everyone to kind of get along and be honest about what they're feeling and how they're feeling. But there's been so much cattiness and pettiness and weirdness this season. And also there's this girl who's just like sitting back and laughing, ha ha he he, every time this girl is bullied. And I'm like, you don't want anyone to start pointing the finger at you.
No.
Anyway, that is my complaint. Love Island this season in general is pissing me off. There's too much drama. No one understands how to communicate with each other. No one understands. And I blame dating apps. I 100% blame dating apps.
Okay. Because
I think it has twisted our brains into thinking that all you have to do is be the hottest person there. And that's it. All of the men will fall for you. You'll have your pick of the bunch. And you don't need to do anything. I think it also has added this like weird... You can tell everyone there is concerned about how America is viewing them. And so they're all playing it like too cool for school, trying to show off almost. No one's being like as vulnerable as they should be, except for my queen Amaya. Anyway, that's it. I just needed to get that off my chest. It's driving me crazy. Anyone who watches Love Island will know what I'm talking about.
If you like it, I love it. I'm going to complain about the monthly song and dance I have to go through to get my Adderall refilled. Dear listener, you've probably picked up on the fact that I have unhinged ADHD, and I need a pill or two, depending on the day,
Daddy needs his Addy
to get through the day. So, and anyone who takes Adderall or any controlled substance gets this. And I'm going to start by saying I understand that there's a high potential for abuse of these drugs, and that's why some of these situations and systems are in place. I get that. It does not change how frustrating it is. So...
Not at all. Not at all. I would argue they're controlled substances because they work, and so the people who need them need them.
Sure.
Anyway.
Maybe. But you have, when we shared an office, you have sat there and listened to what it takes to get a prescription refilled. So the initial prescription goes from your doctor to the pharmacy. Everyone knows how that works, right? 30 days goes by. A person with ADHD has to run out of his ADHD medication and then remember, oh, I have to call the pharmacy on the day that I run out, because they will not schedule it for later. They will not do it. And then you have to go through the whole song and dance of, do you have it in stock? Because there's an Adderall shortage still, and that's been going on for 2 years, and I don't know why that's a thing. And then you have to go through the whole song and dance of, oh, well, we don't have it in stock. Oh, well, you have to call your doctor and have it sent to another pharmacy. We can't send it for you, and we won't tell you what other pharmacies have it in stock. And then 3 months goes by, and you've used your 3 refills at the pharmacy. So then you have to call your doctor. And then you have to talk to a nurse named Brenda, who does not like you and has never liked you. And she is so mean to you every time she picks up the phone and talks to you. And you just have to deal with it, because she is the gatekeeper between you and getting the medicine that helps you function. And that's what I'm complaining about today.
I just really don't understand. I don't understand why they won't do automatic refills. I understand that it's a controlled substance, but if you wait 30 days to refill it, that's still, you're regulating the use, right? Like, I don't understand that at all.
I don't either.
In the least. And what really, like, gets to me is, like, ADHD, so many people cannot function without Adderall. Like, they cannot do it. But also other controlled substances like pain medication and things like that. Like, you are just letting people suffer. For what?
For what, diva?
For what? For what? Because you think people are going to take some extra pills? No, the people who are really concerned about this are the people who really need them. You know?
Well, and I don't know if they're even concerned about people taking extra pills, because I don't know that they care about what happens with the pills once they leave the pharmacy. I don't know that there's any interest in it whatsoever. And I understand there's a lot more to it than I know, but I just know that there has to be a better way to do this.
There has to be. You're literally, everyone who needs a controlled substance, if you need it, and that's why you're prescribed it, you are suffering at the mercy of a pharmacy. I just don't understand it.
You're suffering at the mercy of a pharmacy or
a nurse.
A nurse named Brenda that hates you.
Yeah.
Are you ready for Reality Roundup?
Yes.
Perfect.
Before we get into Mormon wives, I want to talk about Meredith Marks.
And how she's a DJ?
Yeah.
Yes.
I love her tour she did for Pride Month. She looks cool as fuck. And those arms are toned, mama.
There's something about Meredith Marks where she just makes me so happy. Like, there's a love there that I've never known or understood from anyone else but Meredith Marks. And the fact that she said, I'm gonna go make the gays happy today with my music and my little songs. And do you know what she's DJing is deep cuts of Britney Spears and then remixes of Lisa Barlow calling Meredith Marks a poser family, or like her family that poses, and a piece of shit garbage whore. And she said, I'm going to monetize the ever-loving fuck out of this. Yeah. And I'm so happy. And I want her to have everything.
She just exudes that she is herself. Like, she is so genuine. She is not pretending for anyone.
No, not at all.
Which makes it so ironic that Lisa Barlow called her a poser and her whole family posers, because she's so not that.
No.
At all. She just, like, you can tell she's always been herself, period, done. And also, I've noticed from watching Salt Lake City, she is exceedingly self-aware. She knows herself.
Yes. And I think that makes people mad because she's comfortable with herself.
100%. And she's like, I know how I'll react to this, so I just need a second. Or she'll be like, I know that if this goes too far, I will start yelling. Like, she is so self-aware, and I really admire that about her.
Yes. And that we will get into in a couple weeks, because we're going to start recapping Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. But
Yay!
all that being said, Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, Season 2, Episode 5, The Book of Divisions. Okay, so this episode, I don't know how I felt about this episode, honestly. Like, there was a lot. So we pick back up at Provisions where Macy's having her book announcement, and you and I decided we are going to talk about the book when it drops in October.
Absolutely.
And I've already pre-ordered it on my Kindle, so there's that. And we pick up where we left off, where they have the card from the truth box that's talking about Jen being fake, and no one's allowed to say who wrote it. And then Jen starts crying, and it's a really lovely way to end the dinner.
Yeah, I just don't understand the truth box thing. If it's not to stir up drama, what is it for? Like, it's certainly not to get shit off your chest. It's to hurt people's feelings.
No, it's 100% for funsies to
hurt people.
And that's, by the way, just own it, because I'm happy about it. Like, I love the truth box.
Do your truth box. I think if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. But, like, I don't know. I think it's cowardly not to sign it, too. You should own up to who wrote it.
But I think that's the whole point, is, like, it's anonymous.
I know, but, like, if you're going to say shit like, Jen's fake, I hate Demi, just such vague shit like that, at least own up to it so you can talk about it.
That's fair.
I don't know. Anyway, Whitney at that party was cracking me up.
Whitney was a silly goose at that party. She said, "Everyone, I'm having a baby shower. Come to the baby shower. There's gonna be bunnies." Jesus Christ.
I was so dead. Whitney, read the room.
Whitney can't read. I'm just going to say that right now. Whitney cannot read a room.
No, she can't.
So everyone leaves. Even though I'm not really a big fan of Jen, I do think Whitney and Miranda were being incredibly good friends to her. Mm-hmm. And Jen, in her confessional, asks, "Why are these women doing this to me? I honestly feel like..." Oh, wait. Sorry. Okay, so Jen in her confessional asks, "Why are these women doing this to me?" And I feel like she wants blind support to do and say literally anything that she wants to do. And I think that's what she's mad about, is that that's not what she is getting from these girls.
I don't know. I think that none of them have really told her exactly how they feel. None of them have really... I mean, Jesse and Demi kind of, but even they didn't really say it to her. They said to Zach more clearly what problems they had with Jen, and they're not really saying it to her face. They're just saying that they're mad at her in general. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, no one has sat her down and been like, "I feel like you lied about this. I feel like you lied about that."
You shouldn't have to sit someone down. You shouldn't have to sit an adult down and be like, "Hey, you're a compulsive liar. You need to stop lying."
I mean, I get that, but also, like, if I put myself in her shoes and someone just starts calling me fake anonymously, if I'm, like, not aware of what you're talking about, I'm going to start spiraling. Like, what the fuck do you mean by that? I don't know.
Okay.
I just felt, I felt bad because I also, I'm looking back on it now and knowing that, she was pregnant and all of that. But she is very dramatic about the whole thing.
She is. Miranda says that she thinks that the card was written by either Demi, Michaela, or Layla, and we find out later that who wrote it. Whitney and Miranda go to a flower shop, and Whitney talks more about how she's having a baby shower after the baby was born because the gender was a surprise. And I was always under the impression that you only get a baby shower for your first baby. Am I completely wrong?
So, most of the time, yeah. But, like, I'm going to have another baby shower, even though it's my second baby, because it's been 7
years, though.
And it's Kenny's first baby.
Sure.
So I think there are differences. But when you're having your babies back to back, like Whitney is, I don't understand it. You still have all the stuff.
Right.
Like, I don't know I don't know.
Okay.
If you want an excuse to have a party, that's fine.
If you like it, I love it. But also, this is like a thing that genuinely bothers me when people say, after baby's here rather than saying after the baby is here.
Yeah, like baby is their name.
Yeah, and
I don't know why people do that.
And it like to no end because it's like that's just how people talk about babies, and I'm like,
yeah,
you have to put the in front of the baby unless you're going to say its name.
I do think some people do that in place of saying he or she, especially if they're decided not to find out the gender.
The baby's already born. She knew what the fucking gender was.
I thought she was still pregnant in that. No.
No, because she's having the baby shower after Billy was born.
Right. Which, number one, having a baby shower after the baby's already there is cheating.
Jesus Christ.
It's so weird. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I know some people have, like, use baby almost as, like, a pronoun when they don't know the gender. And that I can kind of understand. But why can't you just say they? I don't know.
I hate it. Whitney invites everyone to the baby shower, but like only two. So Miranda and Jen are the ones that show up, and she's happy about that because she's getting closer to them, and she desperately needs friends right now.
Yeah.
I wrote down that Miranda is so pretty, and she just looks like a really cool girl. Like, I want to be friends with her.
She's so stunning, and also I need access to her closet ASAP. She always has a fit on.
Yes.
She looks good all the time.
She's so fucking cool, though. Like,
Yeah.
she's so cool.
I really like Miranda. I do.
I also wrote down that Whitney needs a stylist because she struggles with what Miranda excels in.
Yeah.
That's really hard.
I can kind of relate to Whitney a little bit on, like, after you have a baby and your body changes, it does get, like, harder to dress yourself. But Miranda's had a baby, too, so I don't know. I can see
becoming a mom doesn't immediately tell you to start running around with a sweater with yarn bows on it.
Yeah.
That's just not a thing that happens, I don't think. I'm not a mom. I could be wrong.
No, I forgot about that. Yeah, she really has a hard time dressing herself. We just watched I won't jump ahead.
We'll get into it.
But yeah, she really does need some closet assistance.
So Whitney sends a group text to try and plan something really nice for Macy for her little pickleball thing, which I think is really cool. Like,
yeah.
And I know I had a hard time with Whitney, but like I think she's actually making an effort with at least some of the girls. But
it does give a little bit like she's kissing feet because she wants to be back in the group.
But that's what they want her to do. Like,
yeah,
she can't win for losing.
She had to.
Well, not even, she didn't have to, but like they're almost, well, she did, but they're almost demanding it. And then when she does it, they're saying it's desperate. And that's what I have a hard time with because you're gaslighting her.
There's nothing she could have done correctly. She was put in a situation where she was very damned if she does, damned if she doesn't.
And to be fair, it's her fault.
Yeah,
I won't take that away from anyone else.
She wronged everyone.
But there has to come a point where you say, I'm not going to be a mean girl and I'm just going to we're going to figure it out. But because Michaela especially is being a fucking asshole.
Yeah. 100%. I do feel like they're making her earn that second chance, honey. Like bullying her a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Taylor goes to her mom's house and we get a flashback of Taylor's rotten stepdad, who I literally never want to see again.
I hope he's never on the show again. I honestly hope that what he said at that cookout makes him never on camera again.
No, I can definitively tell you the producers, when that happened, they have never been so happy in their entire lives because they said, oh, this man is out of his mind and he will say whatever comes to his mind.
Well, it's a talking point, right? Like, we're talking about it, like it draws attention.
Yeah, but you know what else drew attention was probably him on January 6th, allegedly. This is my opinion. 100%. I'm not getting sued.
Yeah, I would just like to know where he was.
I just want to know. I don't like him.
I don't like him at all.
They talk about Taylor posting TikToks that would suggest she's getting back together with Dakota, and then Aspen asks if they're still having sex, and Taylor's honest about it.
Yeah. Okay, as weird as it is to talk about out loud, I was glad that they said that out loud, and then in the confessionals, both Taylor and Dakota were honest about the fact that they're still having sex, because it makes it so much clearer what is going on. You know what I mean? Like, that line was a little hard to follow. Like, who in the world would stay around this man? Like, what is happening? But now that you know that they're still having sex,
it all starts to make sense.
Yeah, it kind of clicks.
But you know what I could have done without was...
yeah.
It was Leanne saying, oh, try your vibrator. And then they, like, start to joke about it. And she's like, I don't like hearing this. I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear this. And I'm like, bitch, you brought it up.
You're the one who just told your mom you're having sex. Like...
No. Leanne was the one that got weird about it.
Oh.
And she's the one that brought it up.
Leanne, honestly, honey, you're gonna have to draw a boundary at some point of, like, are you a mom or are you a friend?
Are you trying to be your daughter? Are you... Anyway, well, that's another conversation.
Yeah. I don't understand Leanne. She's so... I don't know. She's, like, so lenient about talking about some things, and then some things she's like, no, why would you say that to your mom? And
it's like, it's a thing where she's, like, removed enough from the church, but, like, she, like, wakes up from being removed from the church to where she's like, oh, I'm weird about it. But then, like, I also feel like she's on camera and she's like, the optics of this, people are going to see this. Like, there's a lot. We'll get into it eventually, like, when I start talking about, like, the church and how fucked up some of this stuff is. But I can definitively tell you that's what it is.
And once we recap the last episode, there's more to say about Leanne.
Oh, absolutely. Whitney calls Macy because Michaela posted a TikTok that was a little hateful and Macy showed up in it. And I feel like Michaela's going too far here. And I think Macy handled the conversation with Whitney really well. I think they both handled it very well. My
queen. Macy is so full of grace and elegance. I love her so much.
Macy can do no wrong in my eyes, as far as I'm concerned. Whitney decides she wants to talk to Michaela one-on-one before the girls' trip, and I'm just like, God bless. Like, that's brave of you. And
yeah.
And then Whitney says, MomTok is driven by love and unity, and I wonder if she's going to keep this same level of energy going into the end of the season.
She didn't have that energy last season when she was talking shit about all her friends, number one. And number two, I feel like Michaela's just kind of a coward. Like, I feel like she doesn't want Whitney in the group. And instead of just saying that out loud to anyone, she's just bullying the ever-loving fuck out of her to try to make her go away.
Because she doesn't want to be responsible for Whitney not being in MomTok, but she
doesn't want her there.
Exactly. She wants it to be Whitney's decision, so she's going to make it as uncomfortable as possible.
Yeah, so she's, like, being mean out loud and, like, making it as crazy as she possibly can without ever just saying out loud, I'm not comfortable with Whitney here.
Right.
You could have just said that to all the girls, and I bet they would have figured it out.
Yeah. It's that simple. Just communicate, diva.
Whitney has wronged other girls in the group too. Like, I don't understand it.
But, like, also, you have to have a villain, and, like, at some point I think you just kind of have to accept that, like,
someone's got to stir the pot,
like,
or nothing will happen. Yeah.
And also, you're going to have to be involved in life with people that you don't like sometimes, and you have the right to remove yourself from the situation, but you can't just be an asshole because it's ugly.
I think that's where Michaela's cowardice kind of comes from, is I do think she's kind of afraid that if she says she wants Whitney out, they'll boot her instead.
Oh, okay. I get that, yeah. Well, we'll see how it shakes out.
But I think the girls really like Michaela. I think that she just can't see that she's well-liked.
No, I think she just needs to grow up a little bit.
100%. Yeah. And I mean, a lot has happened in her life to make her
100%.
Kind of juvenile for her age. But, girl, I did not see the side of her last season either. Like, I thought she was very just chill.
I wonder if she was this way in, like, high school and college, and, like, if this is just how she treated other people and this just feels normal to her. Like, if you don't like someone, this is how you act to them.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah. I don't know. They're all very young, Michaela and Jen especially. So I feel like maybe she really just is in that stage of life. Like,
I wasn't treating people like this at 24.
No, certainly not. Certainly not.
Jessie and Demi go to Pilates, and Jessie expects people to believe that she only works out 1 to 2 days a year, which is a blatant fucking lie.
If she only works out 1 to 2 days a year, she's getting cool sculpting the other 360 days a year.
Like, she looks incredible, and maybe she has good genetics, maybe, like, whatever.
Some people are naturally skinny, but she's not just skinny. She has, like, toned muscles. Yeah.
Like, I don't buy it.
I just can't buy it. I don't. Or maybe she, like, does a lot of housework or something. I don't know.
Well, she's on her feet all day at the salon. I'll buy that, but, like, standing doesn't tone you.
Yeah. I will say, like, doing hair kind of does, like, work out your arms.
That's fair, yeah.
But, like...
But you've got incredible legs.
She goes to these workout classes and she's not struggling. She's not like...
No.
She's like...
And she's also so fucking hot. Like,
I know.
I wonder if part of it is, like, she can't, like, take credit for the work she puts in. And she's just like, I don't know. It just happens. Like, which...
Yeah.
I kind of hate people like that. But at the same time, like, the church will do that to you.
I get it. I do. And I do feel like she grinds the fuck out. I feel like if she's working out, she's waking up at like 5 a.m., working out, going to the salon all day, and then coming home to her husband. Like, that's a lot.
Oh,
and, like,
yeah.
An everyday routine. Plus, she's filming this show.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's a lot.
Jessie and Demi decide they're not going to Whitney's baby shower, so instead they're going to do a hibachi night for everyone not going, and I fucking love hibachi so much.
Me too. I've had hibachi twice in, like, the last 2 weeks.
I love hibachi. I love the whole song and dance. I love the show. I love, like...
Yeah, I love the theatrics of it all.
Catching the piece of chicken in your mouth. I love
Beautiful.
it. Jessie thinks it's weird that Whitney invited the group because it's assumed that half the girls won't show up. But again, I feel like if anyone had been left out of the invite, it would have been a whole thing. So I feel like Whitney cannot win for losing.
Yeah, Demi is being so petty. And again, it's Whitney being damned if she does, damned if she doesn't.
Right.
Because, like, you would have been mad if you didn't get an invitation. It's an olive branch. She is inviting you to celebrate her baby. Mm-hmm. It's an olive branch. You don't have to accept it. Right. You don't have to grab the olive branch. But you don't have to be such a petty bitch about it either.
She's such a bitch.
God.
Like, God.
And I hate saying that about a woman, but
I
Demi.
don't. Not about Demi. Like, Demi. I do not feel bad about that. She is a bitch.
God.
And Demi says she wants a calm, chill girls trip. Shut the fuck up. No, you don't. You've never wanted a calm, chill trip in your entire fucking life. This is what you live for. You live for discourse in the group. And the second that you feel the effects of that, then you get on the cross. You love this shit, though.
I just feel like this scene is such a good example of why I feel this way. The whole time I was watching season 2, Demi specifically is so scripted. Like, she's thought about what she wants to say long before she was ever in front of the camera. Oh, she gives script.
I would go as far as to say that she paid writers to write some of this for her.
100%. Or she just, like, hopped on ChatGPT.
Maybe.
Like, I swear to God.
Famously your best friend.
And, like... This kind of gets confirmed in the reunion, which we'll get to. But, like, yeah, she wants to control this narrative so badly that I genuinely think she's coming up with what she's going to say to her friends before she's ever there. Yes. Which is just weird.
It is. So we go to Jen and Zach, and apparently Jen's living in an Airbnb. Love that for her, I guess. Yeah. She talks in her confessional about how she chose MomTok and how she feels like she made a bad choice. And I'm like, MomTok, or being a member of MomTok, does not require you to lie to everyone. I do not understand why you feel like MomTok is the problem here, because you have made the decision to lie to
Your
everyone that
husband
you
and your friends.
come across. Yes.
Everyone you love, you have lied to.
Everyone that you hate, you've lied to.
Yeah, and I don't understand this whole... They're acting like you sign a contract to be in MomTok. You're just in a group that makes TikToks and is now on Hulu. Like,
Right.
you're not signing away your rights or anything. Like, it's so strange because no other friend group that I've ever witnessed is like, I just want to be part of this name that we've made up. Like, it's
Right.
so strange to me. And it's like, MomTok's not the problem, and Zach's not the problem. We talk about this all the time. It's the difference in values between the two. You got to pick one.
Right. Yeah. She's a liar. Like, I do think that, there is a difference in values between her and Zach, but I also do think Zach is part of the problem. I don't think in this scenario, I think that he is an innocent bystander, but I think that he contributes to the problem.
Well, and you have to see, like, why she wasn't comfortable with telling him the whole truth about the Chippendales thing is because she knew how he would react.
Yes, that is true. Yes.
So it's like, yes, she's lying, but to some point I can see what led her to do that. And not that it was ever okay for her to do, but I can see why that was the easy way out for her.
Absolutely.
Because she knows that her husband doesn't agree with what's going on in MomTok.
Right.
It's that simple. I don't know.
She feels like Jesse and Demi are trying to get the girls to turn against her, and I feel like we have found ourselves in a situation where Jen is not living in the same reality as we are.
She just needs some accountability.
Yes.
She just needs to hold herself accountable for what she's done. And it's okay to say, okay, yeah, I haven't been the best friend. I haven't been the best wife. And then explain yourself, girl. Be like, I feel like I have my hands in two pots and they don't get along.
Right.
Just say that out loud. And I bet your friends and your husband, who all want you to be happy, will accommodate you. I think to some extent, both sides would try to accommodate you if they knew how you were feeling.
Well, and if MomTok is truly all about lifting other women up and doing that, I think if you're honest about that, you will be met with grace and like open arms and love, but instead you are doing everything in your power to fuck that up. That's just where it's
almost
at.
like she's trying to create a facade and she's just not good at it.
Yes, I agree. Jesse goes to meet up with Jen, and I literally wrote, Jesse is so pretty, and I feel like she does such a good job talking in her confessionals.
Her eyes are so blue. Have you ever noticed that? They're like bright blue. They're stunning, and I don't think it's contacts.
I've never noticed her eyes specifically, but I look at her and I'm just like, I'm looking at the face of an angel. I am looking into a face that was sculpted by the Lord.
And a little bit by Heather, but that's
perhaps. Okay. But here we are.
But she looks stunning. She looks stunning.
She can do no wrong.
Is
she
gorgeous.
Can do no wrong.
And listen, if you use some of your millions of dollars to help you look gorgeous, I support you.
I support that. In the car with Zach on the way to meet Jesse, Jen says that the girls haven't seen the other side of her and that she was raised in the hood.
Oh, cringe. I've never cringed so hard in my life.
When she said, meet me outside, how about that? I said, oh, Jesus Christ, Jen, you...
What really got me was when she says, yeah, I was born in Provo, but I was raised in the hood.
I love that Zach has to remind her, like, hey, we're not related to Ben Affleck. We're not. You were born in Provo, Utah.
I do think that for as many faults as Zach has,
he lives in reality.
He does live to tie Jen back to Earth.
Yeah, I mean, someone has to.
Oh my God.
So she shows up to this, I think it's a dessert place, I don't know, but Jen tries to spin the situation into one where Jesse is genuinely trying to hurt her, and Jesse flat out gets to the point where she says, you are a liar. You are the liar in this situation. So at this point, Jen has heard it. I feel like we've really lost the plot when it comes to this whole Chippendales thing. Because, like, at this point, like, if you really look at it for what it is, it's just a bad idea that was poorly executed. Like,
it was never that serious.
No.
It was never that serious, ever.
And if it was that serious, Zach could have stood up and said, I'm not comfortable with this. We need to leave. Jen could have said, hey, I didn't know that this was the extent that it was going to go to. No one did that in this situation, and we have blown it so far out of proportion, and I am so sick and tired of hearing about it. Honestly.
I know. It just needs to be dropped. Like, it seriously just needs to be dropped.
The Ben Affleck thing comes up again, and I
know.
I can't handle it.
Another thing that, again, it's just not that serious, and you literally just never need to talk about it again.
If you just stop saying it, it goes away.
Seriously.
But you were so obsessed with it. Like, you were so obsessed. And then Jen planned this. Jen planned what she says here, where she says she knows about Jesse's past, and then she says, if you're looking to swing with us, it's a no. And then she walks out like she just dropped the biggest truth bomb.
Like, the anger behind it, too, it was so misplaced. Like, Jesse invited you here to try to clear the air, and now you're just throwing stones for no reason. All she wanted you to do was be accountable, and you couldn't. And on top of that, you're gonna bring up her past in the swinging. I just can't follow.
Let me tell you something right now. If Jesse said, hey, I want to swing with you, Travis, what an honor and a privilege.
Oh my God. We don't even need to invite Kenny Queen. Just me.
I don't need to hear anything else. I'm all in.
Yeah. Take me away. Like,
given my orientation, I would hope that Jordan's there. That's not a deal breaker for me if he's not, though. If it's just me and Jessie, she's the most beautiful woman on God's green earth, and if I just got to sit there and brush her hair, how lucky would I be?
She and Macy both.
Oh my God,
I'm like,
I know.
wow. Wow.
So Michaela's in the car with Macy, and Macy decides that when they're 5 minutes away from meeting up with Whitney, that this is the time to say, hey, we're going to meet up with Whitney.
I feel like that was a good way to do it. You kind of had to trap her into it because she never would have said yes.
No, 100%. But, like, Michaela's a mean girl about it, and it really does seem like Whitney is trying to extend the olive branch. I wrote down expand the olive branch, but we get it. Michaela's completely closed off to it. But to be fair, I do feel like this was really sprung on Michaela, and, like, I would be very pissed about it, too.
And also, there's nothing wrong with rejecting Whitney's olive branch. If you don't want to be friends with Whitney, that's fine. You don't have to be friends with everyone. That's
where the conversation should end then.
Yeah,
that's the end of it.
I agree. And what you don't need to do is keep talking about Whitney. That's what you don't need to do. You don't need to make passive-aggressive TikToks. You never need to bring up her name ever again.
Because you're continuing to give it life at this point. You're the problem.
Yes. That's how I feel about it, at least. I just feel like she is being so not chill about it. Like, if you don't want to be friends, don't be friends. But it doesn't have to be this, like, constant swirl of drama.
I agree.
Because I also feel like Whitney would drop it and just never talk to Michaela if Michaela would stop posting all these TikToks and saying mean shit.
Right. I agree. Michaela goes over to Taylor's house, and Taylor's made the decision that they need a break. And I feel like she does a really, really good job of being honest about this. And I think she handles this very, very well. And I think therapy is really working for her. I'm very proud of Taylor in this moment.
She was very mature in that whole thing. I think as soon as she decided to take a break from Dakota, she
seems lighter.
Yeah. And she seems more like a grown-up.
Yes.
She's acting more like an adult.
Yes. Dakota looks like he's going to cry, and I'll buy that he was, like, actually...
He's a crier.
Yes. Like, I'll buy that it was real, because, like, I feel like some guys would be like, oh, no, like, he's just, like, he's full of shit. No, I think that was real.
He cries all the time.
He does.
Like, yeah, I believe. And
he acknowledges in his confessional that he's triggering for Taylor and decides to focus on being a good dad forever. And I feel like if we can follow through on this, what a day the Lord will have made.
That is so beautiful, right? Because I think that's really their problem, is they have this love for each other and they're not willing to admit that it can't be romantic.
Right.
It's okay to, I think it's honestly great if you're just going to co-parent and that's your relationship and you love each other. I think that's wonderful. Pour that into your son.
Yes.
Yeah. But you don't need to keep having sex, and you don't need to try and work out your relationship.
I agree. So we'll see how that shakes out. We get to Whitney's baby shower. Miranda, Macy, Taylor, and Jen show up. And we find out that the bunnies are like a replacement for people wanting to hold the baby. And I feel like if you don't want someone to hold your fucking baby, they don't get to hold your baby, and you don't need to give them shit. Like, you do not owe them anything. And I have a very hard time with people that, like, will push this boundary. And I feel like Whitney said, I have people in my life that aren't going to be okay with this, so I'm going to make a joke out of it and, like, do the bunny thing. But, like, I feel very uncomfortable with people that are not willing to accept when people don't want them to hold their kids. I don't like that.
I didn't like that rationalization of the bunnies. Like, I didn't like that being the reasoning. Like, if you want to have bunnies at a baby shower, like, whatever, be cute, be fun.
Whatever.
But don't.
You shouldn't.
It's weird.
It shouldn't be a requirement, though, that so people don't, like, try to hold your kid.
Yeah.
You know?
And also, what is with people even trying to hold fresh, brand new babies?
It's weird to me. I don't want to hold anyone's baby. I'm sorry.
When they're weeks old?
When they're any age, I don't want to hold a baby. Period.
Yeah. When I had Jack, a lot of people came to the hospital. And, like, that was fine because it was all family, basically. Where I would have drawn the line is if, like, every single person I've ever met also showed up to the hospital to try to hold a baby.
I don't care who it is. If it's family, if it's your sister, if it's your parents, if you are not in a place where you want your kid to be held for what I don't care what the reason is. If you are not comfortable with that and that's the boundary you're setting, that's enough.
People have to respect that. You can't just, like, claim a baby that's not yours. It's
they can
so
respect
weird.
it or not. Fuck you. Period. Yeah. Sorry. So we find out Connor got a vasectomy, so I guess this is their last kid.
Yeah.
We also, what were you going to say? Sorry.
Nothing.
Okay. We also find out that Layla was the one who wrote the note about Jen being fake, and Jen says that she feels like it was Layla's attempt at fitting in because Jesse and Demi are being mean to her. No.
I'm rolling my eyes. Jen, when are you going to admit that you are the problem?
Layla recognized that you were a liar and de facto
wrote the note.
Fake against the truth.
I just don't understand. Like, Jen really is one of those people who, like, drama just surrounds me. Drama follows me all around. And, like, she never realizes that it's her.
Does it follow you around everywhere? Does it seem like you're always in drama? Because you're a fucking liar, Jen.
You are the drama. Like, I don't know when that starts clicking for people, but, like, if you are a person that cannot escape drama, if you feel like people are always turning against you, you have to look within. Mm-hmm. That's the long and short of it.
So we cut to the hibachi dinner at Jesse's house where Demi, Layla, and Michaela show up. Mm-hmm. Jessie talks about in her confessional that she's done the swinging thing before. She shared it with Jen, and she feels hurt that now Jen is weaponizing that against her.
Saying it on camera.
Because she's an asshole.
Yeah.
Like, and here's the God's honest truth. I don't care if anyone's ever, like, been a swinger or whatever, but if it's something that you aren't comfortable with the world knowing and you shared it in confidence, like, Jen knew what the fuck she was doing there. That was gross.
To bring it up on camera.
Yes.
And she knew it was, too.
100%.
That was pure venom from Jen.
And then Taylor back at Whitney's baby shower, Taylor feels like Demi looks down on the rest of the girls for being trash and doesn't actually share anything about her real life, which kind of comes back to the thing you were saying about like everything is scripted. Like it's like the image she wants to portray to the world. It's the cease and desist of it all. And I think Taylor's 100% right there.
And that's tea. We don't hear anything about what Demi's got going on. Ever.
No, because she doesn't have anything going on, because her entire storyline is hating Taylor.
Yeah.
So that being said, Taylor decides it's the perfect time to share the Center Sunday rumor about Brett allegedly hooking up with someone, because Jen deserves to have a backbone and fight for herself. And you know what I love about Taylor at the end of the day is that she will be messy. She will bring mess, and she, like us, loves mess, and she knows what she's here to deliver.
And she's strategic about it. She's not like out to just hurt anyone. She's like, oh, I know how to get back at you.
Yes.
He does.
100%.
And that's where the episode leaves off. A little cliffhanger there.
They love a cliffhanger on that show.
They really do.
They love to keep you coming back for more.
Well, dear listener, that brings us to the end of another episode of Bestie Approved. This one was a weird one. Like, I don't hate, like, the...
Kind of all over the map.
Yeah, I don't hate the breadth and width of what we covered, but it was a lot today. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here, from Indy to wherever you are in the world. And follow us on...
All the things.
Instagram, wherever.
Wherever you like to follow people, I suppose.
Rate and review us on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen.
We love you.
We love you.
Jack, did you want to say something?
Yeah.
Say something, Jack.
You can watch the music on bestieapproved.com.
Thank you very much. We love you, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.